this is when I was going to that school in Michigan, and I couldn't afford to get to Alaska. So I concocted this idea that I would learn to play guitar, and I would work my way across the country, get through Mexico. So I learned A minor, C, G, and D in that order. I couldn't go out of order because I didn't know how. And I just thought I would make up lyrics about people as they walked by, because I didn't know how to write songs yet. And my first stop was in Michigan, and it was St. Patrick's Day, which they take really quite seriously there. And they dyed the river green, and they were drinking green beer. And for a girl from a small fishing village in Alaska, it was pretty shocking to see really American culture for the first time, pop culture and hero worship. And so I just started writing about what I was seeing around me, and I took my change to the ticket counter and saw how far it would get me. It took about 4 days to work my way across the country, and just made stops and worked my way across. And I crossed the border in San Diego into Tijuana, and I hitchhiked down to Cabo San Lucas. And I had my knife back at this point. And then I gave foot rubs on the docks of Cabo down there in the harbor, which was slightly disgusting, but I had a little sign that said reflexology, which I thought really made me look legit. I actually had read a book on it, so I wasn't totally full of it. And then I earned ferry money to get across the Sea of Cortez, and I hopped trains through the Copper Canyons, way up high into the mountains where the villagers are. And then took the ferry back to Cabo, and then hitchhiked back up to Tijuana, all without being murdered. So it was like a total success. And then when I was in San Diego singing at this coffee shop, I got discovered because a DJ had heard about me, and he came to listen to me, and he asked me to come in, and I played an acoustic song, and he said he put it on the radio, and he meant like 2 a.m. when nobody was listening. But he did it, which was really nice of him, and it ended up getting so requested that it ended up in the top 10 countdown, and I ended up on the radio, which is pretty amazing, and all these record labels started hearing about it, and they started driving down to see me, and yeah, it was a lot like being Cinderella. All these limousines were showing up, and from all these different record labels, and they had no idea I was homeless, so they would take me out to dinners that cost more than I made, like, ever. And they would be like, so where can we drop you off? And I'd be like, here. And I remember, well, this first song I wrote when I was 16 ended up becoming my first single, which is very surreal. Things like that don't happen. And I remember the first time I heard it on the radio, I pulled over on the side of the road, and I just started to sob hysterically, because it really wasn't until that exact moment that I realized I sang like Kermit the Frog. You're laughing because you know what I'm talking about. I was so nervous recording that first album. You know, I'd been on stage my whole life and sung in front of people my whole life. But being in a studio, there was no people, and I could hear myself too well, and I got very self-conscious, and my throat tightened up, and I was like, who will save your soul? Very embarrassing, but it ended up being embarrassing all the way to the bank, so. It's funny, you know, before I got signed, I really actually thought long and hard about it, because I had just started getting happy, to tell you the truth. Even though I was homeless, I started learning to discipline my mind, and I was learning so much, and I actually kind of had some peace, and I liked the community that was in the coffee shop, and I was really worried about fame. It's a path a lot of people lose their footing on, and I knew that a kid like me was a good candidate for losing the footing. And so I thought long and hard about why I would do it, and I realized I didn't want to be famous, and being rich actually didn't matter to me. I wanted to make a living doing something I loved, and that's an opportunity I never thought I would have in my life. And I tried to go about having a career that would let me be a singer-songwriter and write songs, hopefully for a long time. So for me, the real dream come true is that you guys are here 20 years later, letting me do this. So thank you. got religion, our friend with soul. Worried about saving our souls. A bit that God will take its toll, and we forget to begin. But who is saving your soul when it comes to flower? Oh, yeah, you save your soul after all those lies that you told, boy. Who is saving your soul if you won't save your own? And love with and some are walking, some are talking, some are stalking that kill. You got so-called social security, but that won't pay your bills, 'cause there's addictions to feed.